So, hello everyone and welcome to another Dragunov tips and tricks guide. In this video I will be telling you everything about Dragunov's back 4. One of the most important moves he has and one of the strongest. The way you use this move in a match really determines the outcome. Like if you use this move really well, it can easily just win you the match. But if you use this move poorly, then you might get yourself killed and then you might throw away the match. So you really need to know how to use the move, but once you know, then it's one of the strongest tools Dragunov has. So I guess I'll talk about the first hit first. This move has many extensions, but every extension starts from back 4 itself, obviously. So 14 frame startup, pretty fast for a mid, 1 frame slower than your standard down forward one, but it doesn't usually matter that much. In some cases it does, but usually it's not a big weakness. This actually used to be 15 frames, so they actually made this 1 frame faster in Tekken 8, and that was like the biggest buff, well, one of the biggest buffs Dragunov got when moving to Tekken 8, and this is one of the reasons why Dragunov is so strong in the current Tekken 8 meta. So one more thing about this move, this move hits really like low. Like this is a really low hitting mid. There was a lot of memes and bullshittery about Dragunov's back 4 hitting like straight up grounded. Like this move, before this move was like a special high almost. This move had the worst hitbox ever. Like technically it was a mid, but if your move had like a little bit of evasion, this would just fly right over the move. So in Tekken 8, back 4 is a really good check for those pesky mid evasion characters like Ling or Zafina. I don't think Eddie mid crushes that much anymore. He can have some evasive move, but mainly Ling's AOP back 4 fucking destroys Ling's mid evasion moves. So this move is one of the best like checks for evasion. Like before, Dragunov didn't really have a fast, like a relatively fast low hitting mid, so in Tekken 7 it was pretty painful to play against those mid crushing characters because you really didn't have any mids against those characters. But now, at last, Bandai Namco gave Dragunov a low hitting mid. But anyway, +4 on hit, -7 on block. They actually nerfed the frames on the first move a little bit in the past few patches, because before you could just loop this. You could just do back 4 all day long. You can still do this, and this is really good in certain situations to just do this. But if you overuse this, then the opponent takes the +7 and fucking counter hits your ass. But because this move has many extensions, the opponent is usually scared of challenging you even after the first hits, goes on block. So this is a really strong and a safe check, I would say. So even the first hit, you could use it like this. But let's move on to the first extension, which is back 3-4. Now this move does a lot of things. First of all, it's your 14 frame Punisher. 35 damage, really good damage. Then as you can see, it's a heat engager also, so if you still haven't used your heat and you punish them with this, plus 17 right there, boom. Also, probably Dragunov's best wall splatting move, like really strong wall splat. So this is exceptionally strong at the wall. Yeah, I think I could like tell you how to use this move at the wall. So the mind game behind this move at the wall is that because this is so good wall splat move, the opponent usually wants to duck the second hit. The second hit is a high, so that means that it is duckable, and the opponent can launch it if they want, like this. But because the second hit is so fast, you know, they really need to be waiting. They really need to kind of predict that the move is coming. They can't really duck it on reaction. Like only the best players in the world duck this on reaction, and even they are scared to duck this because there's other follow-ups. But you know, at the wall especially, the opponent wants to duck the second hit because this is so good as a wall splat move. The opponent knows this, and they usually expect for you to just, you know, get that wall splat. So at the walls especially, this becomes legit again. Like this mind game, just doing this over and over, not doing the second hit because the opponent is probably, you know, trying to duck it every time because they want that free launch. So you could really tease them at the wall with this, you know, am I gonna finish it or not? Am I doing this infinite loop here? So use your imagination with the other extensions especially, because the opponent probably wants to, you know, get that free launch. It is -9 also, the high, which is weird for a high. Usually high moves are not -9, but this one is. But again, the block stun is pretty quick, so the opponent probably doesn't utilize the +9. Usually they want to move away from the wall or do something else, but they don't usually just straight away press after the block stun ends. So in reality it's not really -9. So really strong at the wall. Also, when you have heat and you hit them with this is a launcher. So this would be like your like normal bread and butter. Fuck. Wait, why did that drop? Holy shit. So yeah, something like this would be your combo. 79 damage and a shit ton of wall carry. So when the opponent does something like -14 on block, even like -15, this punish is really, really strong. So if Jin, for example, did something like this, wait, I'm fucking up the recording. If Jin did his forward 3-1, wait, it's only -12, what the fuck? I thought it was 14. Is 1 + 2 -14 still? Yeah. So Jin does his fucking 1 + 2. Wait, I punished it with the wrong one. You know, you get the idea. I don't need to really talk about this, but you know, sometimes it's good to be, you know, obvious with the stuff you say. But anyway, I guess there's not really much. Oh yeah, I could talk about the tracking of the second hit. So the second hit, the high follow-up, it's pretty much homing, and that usually saves you from a lot of situations. So from the most common pressure moves like back 1 + 2 or while running 2, the opponent usually wants to step to the right because it beats the most options. So that's where the second hit comes in. You know, as you can see, it hits after the first hit whiffs. So a lot of the times, usually the opponent, when the opponent sidesteps to the right, they look like, oh, I stepped the first hit, now I'm gonna fucking punish you. But no, the second hit covers your ass and saves you from the punish. So the opponent has to have really, really crispy and clean sidestep duck in order to beat this. But no one does that shit. Like only best of the world really sidestep duck that cleanly. So you can use this move as a tracking move, in my opinion. So yeah, wow, I talked about the first extension this much. Like this move has so much to talk about, really. Let's move on to the next extension. So this move has a mid extension, back 4-2. Safe mid, mid. It's not natural on normal hit, but this is really safe. The opponent doesn't really have any counterplay to the second hit, so this is really, really good if you want to take no risks and just, you know, play safely. -7, but the opponent usually doesn't take their plus frames because it has a third hit, and I will talk about it later. But you know, this is really good if you like play against like a opponent who punishes your every mistake. So fuck, I'm freezing. It's hard to explain, but sometimes you play against like those really good opponents and they kind of read you on every move and punish you on every mistake you make. And this move is a like sure way to play against those kind of players. It doesn't have any counterplay. Like It's a safe mid-mid. They can't do really anything about this. In Tekken 7, you could parry the second hit, but I don't know if it is possible in this game anymore because they made parry startups slower. I haven't tested it, but no one really parries the second hit anyways. They need to be like really on point to do anything about this move. So yeah, really strong. You should use this move a lot. I guess I'll talk about the combo utility of this move. The second hit spikes to the ground. So what that means is that the opponent can't tech and get up instantly. They need to use different wake up options. So because you can go into crouch dash by holding down forward from the second hit, you can basically get a semi-guaranteed grounded hit in combos. This beats everything except quick rise. And most of the players don't know that you need to quick rise in order to beat this, so this is guaranteed against 99% of the players. The only way to beat this is to quick rise. So it's a good ender to combos if you want to get a bit of extra damage, like this, for example. But if you play against a really good opponent, he probably knows that you need to quick rise, then don't use this move, but you know, then you can go for the low from the crouch dash. The low hits grounded also. But yeah, I guess I should talk about the crouch dash extension. So, because the opponent usually is scared to take their frames because of the last hit, you could try and, you know, go for stuff like this if you want to use crouch dash moves. So yeah, go for the mid, go for the low. Just keep that in mind that they are really interruptible if the opponent wants to take their frames. But they usually don't. But if they read you on it, you're getting your ass launched. Quick break, I need to sneeze. I need to blow my nose. Be right back. So let's talk about the third hit, which is back for 2-1. So it's a high, +1 on block, so it's still your turn basically. If you want to knowledge check your opponent, you could do something like jabs afterwards and take your turn, but you know, it's sort of a cheesy strategy because most of the, I would say a lot of the players know that it is +1, so, but some don't, so you could try the knowledge check with if they know the situation. The second, I mean the third hit is delayable, so that's where the mind games come in. So because the last hit is duckable, the opponent usually just you know, wants to duck after they see these first two hits. They want to always duck and look for the launch. Because this is kind of a free launch. It's really easy to react to the first two hits. You don't really need to be on your toes. Like, you don't need to have sharp reactions to react to the first two hits. So most of the time they are just, you know, gonna duck every time after they see these two. So if you're playing against someone who is like careless and doesn't look really what you do, they usually do something like they duck and, you know, press the launch anyway, even if you didn't finish the hit. And that's where the delay last hit comes in. So the delay will hit on counter hit, and it actually has a counter hit property. You get a free 14 frame mid, and that is a true combo. This will hurt a shit ton at the wall. Like, this will really hurt them. Boom, wall splat into a tornado, into a wall combo. Yeah, like this will really hurt them at the wall. So really strong. So how can you really get the last hit to hit on a counter hit? So if you're playing against someone really good, you know, this move rarely hits counter hit by itself. So you really need to kind of condition the opponent. One way to do that is to do the third follow-up, which is that ultimate tackle, and I will talk about it now. Because it really completes the mind game. It's essential part of the mind game. So that's the move right there. Back 4-2, 1+2. Dragunov's ultimate tackle behaves in the same way as everyone else's, but it has 3 different follow-ups. The opponent needs to guess between 3 different grabs, 1, 2, and 1+2. I will show you them. So this is the 1 grab. It deals the least amount of damage, but it kills the opponent's gray life. So really strong. Number 2 doesn't give you Oki at all. It puts you pretty far away, but it deals 5 more damage. And the best follow-up, 1+2, deals 45 damage, and it gives you the best Oki. You're left right next to them with +3 to work on. So because the 1+2 is usually the best, the opponent almost always tries to break 1+2. So what that means is that 1 or 2 grab becomes semi-free, like semi-guaranteed. The opponent usually doesn't want to break 1 or 2 because this 1+2 is so strong. So that's the mind game behind the ultimate tackle. And the mix-up becomes even stronger in heat because this is unbreakable in heat. The ultimate tackle is unbreakable in heat. So what that means is that the opponent wants to interrupt the tackle. They don't want to deal with this. They want to, you know, interrupt this. And if they press a button after these first 2 moves, they want to interrupt the tackle, this hits on counter hit. And then you get the guaranteed 14 frame mid. So that's the mind game behind the move. It's not really that deep, but you know, mix up between these two. When you think the opponent is gonna interrupt, do the high. When you think the opponent doesn't do anything, just go for the ultimate tackle. One way to beat like both options is to sidewalk. I think sidewalk both ways is beats both, but no one really sidewalk both options, like, because this move has so many different extensions and follow-ups. No one really sidewalks the last two options. Let me actually test that out if. Well, apparently Jin can't, well, the bot can't sidewalk it. Okay, you need to sidewalk left. Okay. Yeah, that sidewalk left will beat the max delay last hit and the ultimate tackle. Like this. So keep that in mind. But as I said, no one fucking does that shit. So you're fairly free to do both of those. The opponent is usually, you know, guessing between ducking the last hit or interrupting, which is not that good. It's favorable for Dragunov. So yeah, what else? Oh yeah, the last hit is guaranteed. The whole string is guaranteed on a counter hit. And this is also one of the best counter hit moves Dragunov has. This string does so much. Everything guaranteed if the first hit is a counter hit. All guaranteed. And this is counter hit confirmable. So you don't even need to risk the last hit getting ducked if you know how to counter hit confirm the last hit. And it's not really that hard. It is really trainable and learnable skill. You should really train hit confirming if you want to become good with Dragunov. So how do you hit confirm this? Well, you press the first two hits and then you react to if the first hit as a counter hit or if the first two hits get blocked. So you could practice it in training mode. Wait. It is random block, but the, oh yeah. Right. As you can see, it is very hit confirmable. Don't finish the last hit if you don't confirm it. Well, you know, as I talked about already, the last hit is duckable, so you really need to learn how to confirm it. Good opponents will duck your ass and launch you. I was a bit slow there. But if you're sharp and on your toes, then this is really hit confirmable. Also, my reactions are fucking slow. Like, I have one of the worst reactions in gaming. Like, they are pretty fucking average reactions, in my opinion. And I can still hit confirm this pretty well in game. But yeah, learn how to hit confirm the whole string. So yeah, I don't think there is much else to talk about the move. I don't want this to be like a 1 hour video, but you could easily talk about the move for like 1 hour if I wanted to, but I want to keep it, well, simple, but you know, that I cover all the essential things about the move. Not the like specialist philosophical shit. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it, and I'll see you on the next tip and trick video. Bye!